What's going on, traders? Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're watching this week and where you think the markets are headed. We're going to break it down in this video, so stay tuned and hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about supply and demand trading. Looking at the DXY call reports, it shows that the banks got rid of 1,000 longs and they actually got rid of 2,500 shorts as well, so not too much information on the US dollar. As you can see on the weekly time frame here, this weekly demand is still holding, but if we look on the euro, the weekly supply has actually been broken, so kind of a weird little situation that I've been talking about in the live streams as well. Going to a daily chart, we have this daily demand broken, so that could be our initial sign that the dollar will be headed lower. So you could wait for the daily supply to be hit to look to short some US dollar pairs. All right, on to Euro USD. And first, I just want to say thank you to all the Patreon members for your support. And if you're interested what the Patreon members get for only $5 CAD per month, you get to track all of my zones. You basically get a link to my charts, and you get all my zones, trends, trend lines, all that stuff for only $5 CAD per month. So if you're interested, there's a link below, and you should see a click here for Patreon, little notification at the top of this video as well. So if you're interested, check that out. We'd be happy to have you. With that being said, looking at the call reports, the banks got rid of 1,500 longs and got rid of almost 1,000 shorts as well. So with that being said, they actually removed this weekly supply like I talked about analyzing the US dollar pair. So we have new weekly demand down here, which is actually monthly demand. So I'm pretty bullish on the euro. Looking at the daily chart, the trend is still somewhat of a downtrend. We do have daily supply up here. So what you could be doing right now is looking for 15-minute pullbacks because this 4-hour trend is up. So looking at the 4-hour chart up here, we could wait for a new high to be made up here. Look for 15-minute demand zones to buy pullbacks to, and then your ultimate target could be this daily area of supply at about 1.205. So that's what I'm seeing on the euro right now. I'm definitely more bullish on the euro. All right, on to the Aussie dollar. As usual, the call reports aren't giving us too much information. They added 1,000 longs and added 1,300 shorts, but their overall percentage is still almost 50-50. Looking at the daily chart, I noticed that we had this very tested area of demand here, but as you can see, this trend line has now been removed, but we're almost contacting this tested area of daily supply, and I know this is some sort of weekly supply as well, so basically going to be bullish on the Aussie dollar. Just need to see a couple daily supply zones removed. I have no interest in trading this daily demand level down here as there's just way too much trading going on in this area, so I am staying away from that. So as far as the Aussie dollar goes, gonna have to see that push up, so I'd be very cautious buying the Aussie dollar when price gets to 0.777 up there. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, we have had a reaction at this demand zone here, so you could actually, when price makes a new high, similar to the euro, you could maybe look for 15-minute pullbacks, but at the same time, we're about to be contacting daily area of supply that is tested, so I don't want to be shorting, but at the same time, I'm going to be very cautious buying the Aussie dollar, and I'm actually probably going to be staying away from this pair until we can get a clear direction on the daily chart. And in order to get that, like I said, we're going to have to see this daily area of supply removed, and I would actually prefer this daily supply as well. But if we can get this daily supply removed, a nice push down and a nice push up like that, we would have some sort of upward trend line, which would create an uptrend, and then buying 4-hour, 1-hour pullbacks would be okay. So that's just what I'm waiting for on the Aussie USD. All right, looking at the British pound, it shows that the banks actually added 7,500 longs, but they actually almost added 2,000 shorts as well. So on this pair, what I'm waiting for, there's two things. If these two daily supply areas, actually three, if they're removed, I'll basically be bullish on the British pound, and I will start to look for 4-hour, 1-hour pullbacks if we can get a daily uptrend. I have absolutely no interest in shorting this daily supply level because the trend line is reacting off the trend line. So either I'm waiting for the break above there, or I'm waiting for a reaction off this daily supply for a nice push down. which will continue this downtrend to the downside, and then shorting 4-hour, 1-hour pullbacks would be okay in my opinion. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we do have this 4-hour area of supply removes, which would put us actually on a 4-hour uptrend, almost sideways market. But I have no interest in buying or shorting this pair at any time. Like I said, just waiting for price to break up here. I'm waiting to see what the banks are going to be doing around this trend line. They're either going to break this trend line and these zones and push the British pound higher, or they're going to push the British pound lower, which will continue that downtrend. And I think shorting would be the best option in that case. All right, looking at USD yen, the banks added 1,200 longs and they added 888 shorts on the dot. So one thing to consider is that weekly supply is in control up here. I can't draw it because my trading view is not allowing me right now. But weekly supply is in control up here. The daily time frame is sideways. We do have some sort of daily demand right in this area. So watch out for that. I don't really want to be shorting right now in that area because of that. To me, it's not really qualified as demand, but it is still some sort of buying. As you can see, this nice rally up. But so basically what I'm waiting for is, since we have a 4-hour downtrend here like this, it's 4 hours of downtrend, 4 hours demand isn't till down here. So what I'm waiting for on this pair is to wait for this 1-hour demand to be removed like this, make a new low there, and then I might start to look for 15-minute pullbacks to the short side, essentially targeting this 4-hour area of demand down here at 108.477. So that's what I'm waiting for on the USD yen. All right, on to USD CAD. The banks didn't do much. Looking at the call reports, they added 800 longs and added 550 shorts, so not too much data to work off of there. But this daily downtrend is still holding, so I am bearish the USD CAD still. And I'll tell you exactly what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this 4-hour demand to be removed right here, and then I will start to look for shorts on either the 1-hour or the 4-hour time frame. And here's something interesting here. I did not have this 4-hour demand zone at first, and then I went back and I noticed that I actually missed a zone to track, and that actually kept me out of a losing trade. So that's another reason that maybe you should check out the Patreon as well, so that you can track these zones and know when these higher time frame areas of supply and demand are in control. Because let's say you're entering on a 1-hour, a 15-minute, a 5-minute time frame. This it's short right here. Basically, this 4-hour demand zone just destroyed any shorts, and that's why it's important to find these little zones hidden in there. So that's why I'm waiting for this 4-hour demand to be removed, and price will go to the downside, and at that time the 1-hour time frame this demand should be removed as well, and then I could start to short 1-hour pullbacks to the downside. And the targets on the USD CAD are pretty low, so if we can get in short, I think getting a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 are pretty realistic. Like I said, I just want the banks to prove to us that they are going to remove this 4-hour supply or 4-hour demand zone. All right, on to USD Swiss. The call report showed that the banks got rid of just 300 longs, and they actually got rid of about 2,300 shorts on this pair as well. But I remain pretty bearish on the USD Swiss. This weekly demand zone was just removed right here, and this chart looks similar to the weekly dollar chart, except for this demand has been removed. Keep an eye out for this little flip zone on the weekly time frame too. We could see, I don't expect this zone to hold, but we could see some sort of reaction off of it, so be careful if you're trading the lower time frames. Looking at the daily chart, we still have this daily demand to get past, and once that daily demand gets broken, I will be interested in shorting the USD Swiss because the 4-hour time frame is still in a downtrend. So I actually have no interest in shorting on the lower time frames until that daily demand is removed. So basically just waiting for that daily demand to be removed on the Swiss, and then shorts to the downside are okay. If I do get a short set up around this weekly flip zone, I probably would risk a little less than usual only because it is a little risky doing that, but ultimate targets could be targeting this weekly area of demand at 0.89637. All right, on to gold. The banks got rid of 6,000 longs and added 2,400 shorts. But it's weird. As they do that, we are sitting in monthly demand. And looking at the daily chart, I think I talked about it last week where we had that daily momentum shift. So we were expecting this pullback since this trend line has been removed. I'm currently looking to get in long on like a 15-minute time frame, as long as price stays around here, and I would look to get out at about 1,800 on gold. And what I'm waiting for on gold is for this pullback to this 4-hour area of demand, and maybe look for a 15-minute confirmation trade in this demand zone. And if it doesn't pull back, then what I'm going to look for is for price to make a new high above this wick, and then maybe look for 15-minute continuation patterns to target the 1,800 area at that daily area of supply. So I'm pretty bullish on gold, but I do expect if we do get to that 1,800 area, to this daily area of supply, we could start to see gold hesitate a bit, but I do kind of expect it to eventually break above these two daily areas of supply. All right, on to crude oil. The banks got rid of 5,000 longs and they added 13,000 shorts. And for those of you that have been tuning into the live streams, I talked about that. That's exactly what I wanted to see in the call reports as price comes up to this daily area of supply on oil. And if you're interested, check out the live streams. I'm going live every day for the New York session, all of April. So we still got a couple weeks left of that. And what I'm waiting for here on crude oil is to basically look for some sort of 1-hour confirmation in this daily area of supply. This is a weird zone where I still will be looking for confirmation up there, but it's a little bit tricky. So basically, yeah, I'm looking for 1-hour confirmation in there. So looking at the 1-hour time frame here, we have a decent little trend line here that I'm actually going to extend a little further. So what I would actually like to see is for this 1-hour supply zone to be removed, create new demand down here, and then for price to break that new demand and this trend line where we can get a nice short pullback to the downside. And that is exactly what I'm looking for on oil. I'll take a 2-to-1 and I'll get out as a happy trader. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching this week's Forex Forecast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well, if you don't mind. I really appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're looking at this week. And, maybe we can get in touch and you can send me a chart and let me know what you're looking at. I always like looking at charts. So with that being said, let's have a great trading week and let's make some money. Cheers.